Shalom, shalom, all praises to the highest. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rechaha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone GMS, who rule and teach Yasha Alawel through the Spirit and are the true pillars of the church today. And salutations to the elect. Okay, enough respect to you brothers pushing this gospel, this good news, the world over in sincerity and in truth. Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So yeah, very recent, news report, man. This was put up on the 27th of August, 2025. Okay, and yeah, securitymagazine.com is this article. How air travel became safer through cashless service. That's where things are heading, man. They're looking to eliminate cash altogether. That's the global plan. Okay, and yeah, man, we are aware of what the higher ups are doing, man. Okay, and paper notes is fake money anyway. Okay, everything going digital. Okay, and I'll put the link to this article in the description area underneath in the title. All right, you got central bank digital currencies. All right, different countries adopting that. All right, banks adapting cryptos. Okay, stable coins, digital pounds. Okay, you got things like that. And basically, the ultimate goal is to have everybody electronically tagged via the micro C-hip. Okay, everything around everything around us is changing. Okay, and basically catering towards that transition. Even some shops, all right, that you go into, you scan your hand and what have you, palm scanning, all right, okay. But soon there'll be, a C-hip inside your hand, all right, which people have done already, in your palm and, the scan your hand and stuff like that. People even pay with the phone, and all that's conditioning anyway. Okay, so let's go into this. In an age where convenience, efficiency, and security reign supreme, air travel is adopted accordingly. One notable change, the elimination of cash payments on board for food, drinks, and other purchases. This shift away from bills and coins did not happen by accident. It reflected a deliberate focus on safety, security, and smoother operations. That's what they like to push. Okay. The dawn of the cashless cabin. The move towards cashless in-flight services began in earnest in the late 2000s. While some airlines had already experimented with credit and debit payment devices, American Airlines notably pioneered the transition, and this is going to branch out to others. Okay. In September 2007, American launched a 3-week pilot program on flights departing from San Francisco, where only card payments were accepted for on-board purchases. By June 1st, 2009, it became fully cashless on flights within the continental US and routes to Hawaii, Alaska, and Canada. Less than a year later, on February 1st, 2010, the policy expanded worldwide and cash was no longer accepted on any American Airlines flight. Other airlines quickly followed. Alaska Airlines introduced cashless cabins in 2008, with United, Delta, and JetBlue adopting similar systems throughout the early 2010s. By the mid-decade, cash had virtually disappeared from major carriers across North America and much of Europe. Okay, and that's just going to be, you know, escalating further and further. You see? So yeah, people paying with their phone. All right, yeah, Google Pay, Apple Pay, things like that. All right, you see? Scan phone to get onto a bus or pay for goods, etc. People have their bank card on their phone anyway, so they just use the card and then use their phone to, next to the reader, and just pay for the service. All right. They like to use safety as a reason for this efficiency, all that, which, yeah, is quicker, quick scan and you sorted. Okay. And things like that. What else? Yeah, safety, security, smoother operation, yeah, more efficient and things like that. All right. But, you know, at the same time, they want to completely monitor and track everyone. It's that total dominance, that total control. You see. So while it's obviously quicker than fiddling for notes and coins and spare change and stuff like that. Right, they also want to track everyone. They can see, it's easy to track online, digital money and things like that. You see where and when you bought something and what have you, then it is via cash. Okay, definitely. So that's their motive, really. Yeah. So they're not gonna pull out, all the stops, man. All right, they ain't gonna do that. You see. Before I go further, let's get the book of Psalm, chapter 55. I do not intend to make this long at all, but we'll see where the Spirit leads. See, so much going on. You got, the JJ's launching a series of strikes on, former army barracks in Kiswa, right, in southwestern Damascus, right? Trans Minneapolis shooter, right? He was ranting on about slaughtering, in his quote, filthy Zionist Jews, end quote, all right? School shooters and stuff like that. Yeah, 14 children were gunned down. Okay, might have been, gone up by now. All right, all these different, plagues coming in as well, man. The bubonic plague detected in America. You see, so much happening. Uh, Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. We'll get this in the New King James Version. Okay, it's got to go in these different versions, man. And it reads, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords." You see? So it's all traps, man. Okay? Sweet talking into a major snare. You see? And ultimately, that sea hip is that trap. You cannot repent from taking that. You see? Yeah. See, he wants to control everyone with that RFID micro C hip. They want to tag absolutely everyone. You know? 2 Corinthians 2:11. He says you get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, we're not ignorant of these evil schemes that they've got going on. Okay. Alright. So yeah, Revelation 13 and 16 goes into the charagma. Okay. So everything's going to be interconnected. Smart cities, digital ID, digital wallet, right? The Internet of Things, right? People are attached to their phones as it is. Okay. Mention Apple Pay, Google Pay. People using that a lot. Okay. But yeah, all these, you know, everything leads to the road to the MOTB. Why? Because it's Bible prophecy. All right. Let's go back to the article. Uh, so why airlines ditched cash, a focus on safety and security? While the move aligned with passenger convenience and modern payment trends, the underlying driver was safety and security. Cashless transactions reduce risk for airline crews and passengers alike. So you got operational speed and efficiency, number one. Speed and efficiency. All right. Counting change and verify cash flow service. Yeah. Arming flight attendants with handheld card readers. Airlines sped up the process, allowing attendants to serve more passengers quickly and with fewer errors. Right. I'll just bounce through these. Second, fraud and theft mitigation. Carrying cash in the air presented tempting opportunities for theft and fraud. You got passenger theft. On an Emirates first class flight, a couple reported that $3,000 in cash disappeared from their bags while they visited the onboard lounge, leaving them stranded with little recourse once they landed. Yeah, you got more. On that internal cash skimming before cashless systems, airline quietly reported cases of crew pocketing small sums during long haul flights without digital receipts proving fraud was impossible. Jump down to 3, accounting and accuracy. Cash handling required manual reconciliation and often led to costly discrepancies. Audits reveal that lost or miscounted cash bags between flights cost carriers tens of thousands of dollars annually. So they're basically saying with, digital transactions, this is very, very, very far less likely to happen or what happened at all. Okay, so yeah, security against counterfeits, risk crew exploitation, smuggling, yeah, petty theft, passenger convenience, spending habits. Beyond security, passengers increasingly preferred cards and mobile payments. Airlines also found that customers tended to spend more when paying electronically, unconstrained by the limited cash in their wallets. Especially when, oh yeah, look at this post. You know what? Digital evolution. The fill in the blank accelerated the push for contactless payments. Yeah, because they said that the crown could spread on those notes. That be handled by different people and all that. It could spread that way. You can catch it. You know, airlines not only stayed cashless but also embraced touchless app-based solutions. So you got mobile apps carriers like Delta, United, and American allow passengers to preload payment details into apps, eliminating the need to hand over a card. Oh yeah, NFC near field communication, tap to pay. Yeah, so Google and Apple Pay was standard on many flights. Uh, Digital receipts instead of paper, passengers receive receipts via email for seamless record keeping. Yeah, yeah. I've had digital receipts as well. Yeah, man. So I could read it. I could finish it off, but yeah, not much left. Okay, you've even got cyber crimes that's happening too. See, so ultimately they're gonna lock everything down, crash this whole society. That's what the nobility V, the small hats, the JJs, the Amalekites are looking to do. Right? They know that they have a short time, so they want their new world order to hurry up and kick off. You see? So yeah, they want to know every transaction, man. They say it's for like things like to prevent fraud and security and stuff like that, fraud prevention, error reduction, stuff like that. Which we understand, right? But again, their goal is to monitor everyone, right? Which they're monitoring people right now, okay? But that's gonna be more intense. It's gonna intensify, right? Boarding planes with your apps on your phone, right? Back in the day, you had your physical boarding pass. You can have it on your like your Ryanair app or your EasyJet app and things like that. You just put it down on the thing when you're going through your gate, security gate or whatever, right? But yeah, people attached to their phones. Remember, who was it that said they wanted everyone to have a phone by 2030? I forgot. It might have been Cotton Swab, right? Okay. And he also said you'll own nothing and be happy. So yeah, people they already conditioned the people where everyone's even I'm like that too. I'm not gonna lie. Attached to my phone because these phones nowadays you can do everything on it. Work from it, get a calendar, uh, music from it, watch TV, watch films, all these different apps. Your banking app. You clock in, you clock out at work with your phone. Use your phone to get in a taxi. You see? Everything you can do with your phone, man. All these different websites you can go on, streaming music, everything. PowerPoint presentations, all sorts, Excel, everything, man. Right? Walking around with your handheld device. Alright? But hey, they want you to become that mobile phone. They want to see it in your body. See, people are already hooked to it as it is, like I said, man. Alright? So, when they push, hey, get that see it, it's gonna be like nothing for a lot of people just have it in them because they're already attached to the phone as it is. Alright? You see? Alright, yeah, Venezuela deploying 15,000 troops to Colombia border amid US pressure and DRUG trafficking allegations. Alright? Hey, look. From Natural News, UK on the brink of economic collapse amid soaring debt and weak growth. Yeah, that's right, man. And I believe, if I saw a report, I saw it on Instagram anyway, could be wrong, but it said that on September 12th you're going to need ID, to enter supermarkets, right? So, grocery shopping places like, Tesco over here, Sainsbury's, Asda, Aldi, you know? Yeah. A time it's really is short. Yeah. Okay. You got Jill Bates announcing plans to embalm millions of newborn babies and harvest their organs. You got sudden deaths and long-term disabilities that soar among the yabbed pilots. That's what took the thing. Okay. Over here you got like hotels for illegals. Okay. People are up. Just type it. Type it on YouTube. People are protesting like crazy. Yeah. And again, that they're gonna be like, hey, we need to lock everything down, track who, get digital ID, see if everyone. All right. So yeah, yeah. In fact, let's get this article up. They even say now that Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, he was unalive to protect the elite, PDF file ring as well. Okay, now it could be true. I believe he's an Israelite as well. Babies in Wi-Fi, dense homes face triple risk of neurological damage and all that radiation and stuff. So check this out. I go to page 4. So much happening, man. August 25th, from the People's Voice. Big tech plans to use brain C hips to read users' thoughts. Study. Yeah. These left-hand miracles, man. Big tech is plotting to deploy brain C hips capable of reading users' thoughts, according to a chilling new Stanford University study on neural implants, also known as brain-computer interfaces, which can expose innermost secrets while masquerading as aids for paralyzed individuals to communicate. You see that? So, you know the, you know, the tapping into that, demonic mainframe. All right, into that left-hand stuff. They want to see into your spirit, basically. All right. These devils want the birthright back. All right. Uh, and things like that. Oh, where is it now? Forget. Is it? Oh, forgot his name. Alright, never mind. But yeah, they want to, basically, the, it's that God complex. They want to just have, utter control over you. So, published in the medical journal Cell, the research demonstrates how these devices could decode brain signal to generate synthesized speech with unprecedented speed and minimal effort. Right, and these devils can even measure what you say as well. Right, wiser than Daniel. But it says raising alarms about privacy invasions as corporations like Neuralink push for widespread adoption, while proponents tout benefits for the disabled. Critics warn that unchecked integration could allow tech giants to harvest neural data for surveillance, manipulation, or profit, turning personal cognition into a commodified resource without consent. That's right. More on that as well. I'll link these two articles in the description box beneath anyway. Alright. So yeah, that's basically it, man. Alright. These left-hand miracles. In fact, I'll get one scripture and close out. That's why I've got to be circumspect. We've got to be vigilant, man. Because this devil is walking around seeking whom he may devour. And they're not letting up any time now. Okay? Just bear with me, yeah? 2 minutes. Yeah, I know. Bear with me. There's always something, man. Always a distraction. yeah, Revelation chapter 16, and it reads, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh upon the earth. And the first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." As we always do, let's go into, as we've done many times, let's go into the word sore in the Greek. Alright, and it's Strong's G1668.
Strong's G1668. Helkos. Helkos.
Yeah, it says a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, and ulcer. Yeah, cancer from having that, C hip in your body, man. A foreign body, right? It's gonna cause it's gonna make radiation. Okay, and it's gonna cause you to be sick if you go ahead and have that surgical implant. You see, sores all over your body. You'll be in agony, alright, and you can't repent if you take that C hip. Speaking to our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you heathens can take it and whatever, alright. But again, man, there's no repentance for that. But I'm gonna end the lesson there. Lord willing, this was edifying. In closing, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Recha Kodash. Again, double honor to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone GMS, who rule well and who teach well. And Moath Lababal, Shalom to the elect.